All right, there we go. Hello, everybody. Um, this is video 766, and I wanted to talk a little bit about, as this is my channel, One Trans at Middle Age, and over the course of the last couple days, today has really been hard. Today has been the worst day since I broke up with my boyfriend, and I'm saddened, not to have them in my life but today I'm lamenting, it was a mutual breakup. It was mutual good. So, there's not, and I said this in my last video, there's not a bad guy or bad girl. It's not a bad guy, bad girl situation. But I think what I lament today is the loss of feeling like I had someone that was looking out for me. I had someone who had my back. And luckily I have some really good friends. That I would give a kidney for, and I assume would be the same, but it's not dependent upon that. I've made some good friends over the last 5 or 6 years from the support group that is in here, but also just, people I play D&D with is a good example. But, there was something about being in a relationship with someone that it was such a comfort. And I guess the kind of thing that maybe you only get from someone who is your significant other. Not to say you don't have that with your friends, and I'm definitely very thankful. I feel blessed with my friends. But, just that idea of being a man or a woman, or a woman and a woman, or a man and a man, or non-binary in there too. Excuse me. Just that comfort of knowing that you had someone at your back. And I guess I didn't have that for a long time. And, I had dated back in 2001, and that's when I really found somebody, and we got married and, had our child and everything. But, I think it's that what I'm sad about today is the loss of that relationship. It's the loss of that, that trust, that, kind of things you can't necessarily get from your friends, but you can get from, I guess for me, I'm kind of, I thought maybe I might be, not pansexual, demisexual, that I developed an intense, strong, relationship with someone, and obviously that didn't work out. And now that in some ways that's broken, it kind of makes me wonder if I'm not demi, I'm not demisexual. I really am more asexual, I think, to be honest. And I know that now. I've learned a lot about me, and I still hope before I die that I have the opportunity to be in a relationship with a man. I've learned now a cis man, and I don't want to go too much into personal information, but I learned that, I've learned what my preferences are. If I could choose, if this was a salad bar and I could choose what I wanted and how I wanted it, it would be with a cis man going forward. And, I'm very much aware of my own limitations. But I definitely I want to experience sex being penetrated with the penis. Okay. This is good for a certain point, but, or I guess this really. Oh, sorry. I needed that. I've not laughed in like 3 days. Um, you know, Again, how do you know unless you do it? How do you know unless you do it? You can think about it, you can talk about it until you get the opportunity. You won't know till you do it. So that I have learned about myself, and that is, I think, a huge step forward because I didn't know that before. You know, did, and now I do. But again, that's sex. And so I really do kind of find myself being drawn more towards considering myself to be asexual. That I really don't, I want to experience it. So you know what I mean? It's like, I want to experience it so I know for sure, do I like it? Do I not like it? But I can kind of mentally feel myself saying, oh, no, you're asexual. You don't want to have sex with somebody. I guess there's a part of me that's saying, look, I had the surgery. I went to hell and back, and I want, a tool that's not used is a useless tool, right? But that said, and not to be crass, I kind of feel like I'm definitely more asexual. And I've heard someone say, asexual by coincidence or by circumstances, but I think, again, that's it. If I had the salad bar, if I had my choice, I really almost wonder if I would just not have sex. So I learned a lot about myself, but today, like I said, the relationship, being so not infatuated and not enthralled, but feeling so connected with someone else and the potential of what that could lead to. We were, in my mind, foolish person that I was thinking about, what if we moved in and we saved money on expenses, and they were buying a house, and I could help pay off the mortgage, and then I retire in 15 years or so, 17 years. I mean, it's just your brain starts to build bridges, and maybe that's what we, as human beings, maybe that's what we want. We want some safety, we want some security, and it's definitely something I don't have now. I could lose my job tomorrow, or Monday, rather. It's Friday now. And I have basically nothing to keep myself going. I mean, I have my 401k now. That would survive me maybe 2 years, maybe. But you know what I mean? It's like there's a bit of safety and security, like a cradle, and you feel when you're in a relationship with someone who you feel so close to and whatever. And like I said, I was betting the farm on it here. And, a week later, nothing, And it makes me wonder, not if my feelings were legitimate, but, was I deluding myself? I don't know. I'd kind of said, I was the little girl who was just infatuated with the boy, and what would my name be like? Mrs. Robin, blah, blah, blah. And it seems somewhat foolish now. Now I'm back to being kind of the old, gray, grizzled, oh, it's better to love and lost than have never loved at all, and, I'm Granny from the Addams Family now. I may be old, but I'm not dead. you know. But anyway, so that's kind of what's been going on, and still, I can cry at the drop of a hat. Today, it's been 5 or 6 times that something came on, and there was an ABBA song that came on, the winner takes it all, and I just lost it, just cried, which was good. I needed to get that out, but it's again, I played all my cards. I've done all that I can do, and it falls apart. That's the song. There was a little bit of, I hope you get more enjoyment of her than me. But, again, and then I'll wrap up on this thing. There's a line in the movie Starship Troopers where Johnny Rico is just got his Dear John letter from Carmen. Not Carmen. Is it Carmen? Yes, Carmen Ibanez. And she says, this is my future, and I this is what I want to do, so we need to break up. But write me back so I'll know we'll be friends. Let's be friends forever and ever, we'll be friends. And I think his name is Jake Busey's. He kind of says, girls are always like that. They would just want to be friends after they break your heart. And or something to that effect. And that was kind of my moment today. Because when we parted ways, it was like, hey, mutual understanding. Thank you for being honest. Let's be friends. Let's part on happy terms. And the response kind of was, well, let's just be, we'll be friends. And I kind of like nodded, and I was like, to myself, I'm like, no, we're not going to be friends. That is such a girl thing to say, in my experience, and call me, guilty of gender stereotyping here. But, yeah, I know for myself. And here's my own idiosyncrasies and my own problems, but, my faith and my emotions is a lot like a pencil. And when it's through, it's broken. You have two halves of something that can never be rejoined. They can never be combined. And that's just my take on life, I guess, which, again, it's my own hang-ups, but definitely wish the other person, good luck. But no, we're not going to. And it's kind of sad in a way. It's my own problem, my own idiosyncrasies. But again, and what I liked about, I guess what I am lamenting today is opening oneself and putting everything out on the table, And I guess that's something that I hope to do with, if I'm so blessed with the opportunity to have another boyfriend, putting everything out on the table, and you open yourself up to a lot of things, very vulnerable, and if that doesn't pan out, you can't, in my mind, you can't take it back. I can't go back, you know what I mean? And that's my problem. That's my idiosyncrasy. So, but anyway, so I hope that very soon I will stop crying at the drop of a hat. I cried today over my stapler. Again, another song came on, and I listened to it, and I just started crying, and I'm grabbing onto my stapler, and I'm stapling checks and claims together, trying to do my job, and I can't see because my eyes are covered, tearing, and, it's just, you got to stop and let it out. But anyway, so just sharing a little more about what's going on, and I think it's part of the natural process of healing And with grief, you go through stages, and that's just kind of where I'm at. I guess I should look it up and see what's next, what the next stage is. You know, I'm so saddened by the loss of that sense of togetherness, and I'm disillusioned somewhat by how easily it can unravel. You know, and in this instance, it wasn't like my marriage. It wasn't, you know, a break of trust, or, you know, like I said, there was no bad guy, bad girl in the breakup, you know, but it kind of makes me feel kind of foolish, I'll be honest with you. But that's love, you know, that's irrationality. That's putting yourself out there and making yourself vulnerable. And I hope, again, that, like I said, if I ever get so blessed with another person, I've definitely walked away a little bit smarter, a little bit wiser, maybe a little more calloused than I was before, if that's possible, but I don't think I would make the same mistake again, which means I've learned something. So anyway, on that note, I will sign off, and I'm hoping that I will get out of the crazy crying grief phase. I hope that things are going well with you in your transition, and we'll catch up with you later. Bye-bye. Good luck.